Görək Zəhra xanım, bu necə oyun? Mənim ayaqlarım nasıl xanım? Nə basın? Sen yavaş aşağı. Edith Finch. Finch. Edith Finch.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house. I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Yavaş aşağıda telefonu kurarsın.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Mənim adımdan girmişsən. Buradan çıx, öz adından gir. Hüseynlə gir. Hə, yaxşı, sən də Ceyransan deyən, qoy Hüseyin adıyla girək. Hanı Hüseyin? Gir, yuxuda. Ha, Ceyran, qoy. Sonra getir Ceyran. Qorxaq Ceyran qaçdı. Hə, heyvan qorxurda.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Yes, Hüseyin.
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Ne şeyimiz var Zəhra.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Bir imkan verin də telefonu zəng çalma vaxtıdır. Tullayacam sən hamısı. Gör girirsən. Burada nə var axı? Nəsə ara qoymusan hardasa. Deyirəm də. Ara yoxdur axı bilmirsən. O fırlanmadı görəsən. Bir dənə imkan vermədin ki bu oyunu oynayaq ver nə deyir. Hə, özün girdə də adınla. Hara gedirsə fırlanır arxaya. Sən adın deyildi? Hə. Qara eləmək olur da sonra. Mənim adıma gör indi. Bura yaz gör. A-Nero yaz. Tabi sən də deyən də. Aha, arxadan girə bilərik Zəhra. Aha. Aha, girdi içəri.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Garaja. Bax gör ilişmir. Hə, duyut. Duyut bax. Hüseyin hardayıq biz? Get tax örtüyə bax.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Geldi.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Biz yaşamışıq. Uşaq vaxtda.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Hüseyin səsimiz necə gəlir?
Or how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Heç kim yaşamır da çoxdandır. Nə bilim valla dağın.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Köçüb getmişik.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Gəl oynayaq. Orada mahnı gedir, gəl biz də yuxarı çıxaq. Bu haralardır Zəhra? Yeah. Buralar açılmır. Bu nə daha bağlamışıq qapını. Yuxarı çıxa bilirik Zəhra. Hər yer kitabdır.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Hara parti saldı. İndi ora necə girəcəyik? Hər yer bağlıdır. Buna bax, hər yer bağlayıblar. Nəyi qadan alın? Eşitmirsən? Hə. Oturub eləmir, görəsən. Nəsə knopka var, burada controls. Heç nə yoxdur kontrolda. Grafik nəyi qoyurlar? Ultra, sağ olsun. Şunurun çıxır Hüseyin. Çıxmağa...
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Maması da hər yeri bağlayıb. Və biz bu xarabiyə nəyə gəlmişik, hər yer bağlıdırsa? Zəhra xala. Aa, bu harada.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
Burada çoxlu vaxt keçirmişik.
Lewis told me there were secret
Aha,
passages,
bəlkə bu
but I
açar
never
bura gedə.
believed him.
Sağ görək, sən can bəlkə bu açar. Aha! Axır ki, açar bir şey yaradı.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Aha, baxan var Hüseyin.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
Boy,
From the paintings on the wall, it
Hə?
was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Eşitmirəm. Onu demirəm, yazan var, nəsə. Hə, buradan gəldik Zəhra. Yetişmir.
But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Aha. Nə qəşəng otağımız var.
Just like I had
Sen
no
otağında
idea
ora.
where all this was gonna lead.
Hə, görsən sən otağında. Nə yazılıb? Oxu da, nə yazılıb? Mən oxuyum. Mən nətər oxuyum? Gətir oxuyum.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Aslan. Ay sən Hüseyin. Ay gəl Hüseyin, Zəhra. Hə, ora gedir səsimiz. Burada nələrimiz var görək.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Heç nəyimiz yoxdur Zəhra. All gone.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Qoy özüm yedim. Nə görməmişəm mən? Yatmaq istəyirəm bəlkə mən. Bax, burada mən necə uzanım indi Zəhracan? Bu nədir? Balıq.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Ay Allah, balığa bax. Bu oyunda ancaq elə deyəsən nəyisə yada salacaq ha. Yəni bu oyunda bir sən üçün də elə bax. Sonra nə edirik? Aça biləcəyik. İndi qaranlıq qorxulu deyil. Aha, bu nədir? Qoy. Qalacağam mən.
I kept eating and eating.
Onu da yiyəcəm. Gəl ancaq yeyir. Aha, çıxaq çölə.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Bunda ye bala ye. Gözün doy, sürt gözünü arada demə. Bu nədir? Onu da çək. Hə?
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Aha.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
Nədir Hüseyin
I
bala?
reached out for her.
Aa, çıxmaq istəyirik çölə Hüseyin.
And suddenly,
Aa, bir şey olduq.
I was a cat.
Qoy. Aa.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Aa, bir şey oldum ki mən.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Vay. Bizə baxmırdılar. Gördüm. Nə var idi? Harada? Mamasının atasıdır ya. Görəsən şey. Hoppa. Hə. Hara gedirəm mən? Mən niyə bir şey oldum?
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired.
Yorulmuşam. Ha, indi mən ora necə gəlim?
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Bax, mən pişiyəm. Məni bura nəyə gətirsən?
I gobbled her up,
Aaaa!
and
Yıxıldım.
suddenly I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind.
Oo, indi qartal oldu.
Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Hara baxıyorum mən?
Rabbits.
Dovşan tutacağıq. Dovşan tutduq.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit.
Dovşan tutduq ya.
Then I flew off to find something bigger.
İndi yekə şey istəyirik görək. Baxacaq. Mən qartanla bu yemək yeyirdim.
A mama rabbit.
Aha. Dovşanların anası. Oh, bu yekədir.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Boy dayan mən.
Suddenly, I was a shark.
Oo, indi şey oldu. Bu nədir? Təpəm dağıldı. Bu nədir? Mən niyə akıllayam? Akula! Akula, burada nə işi var? Hoppa!
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Yəni açmışam.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Saxtaymış. İstəməyəsən. De. Hara getdi o? Ne ters değil, ne? Tam bir basın ters değil. Hara getdi Zəhra?
Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water.
Ne oldu?
When I opened my eyes, everything
Hadi.
changed.
Şey.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Deniz kuzu var, bana bak. Parmaklarının şeyi de var, dın.
I was big, but I moved
ahtapot.
real quiet.
Vay. Gör sen orada. Gölgemdeyim.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Belly with a rusty
Ne bak yedim.
And across the water I smelled something
Ne oldu?
new, something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Aha.
I slithered onto the sand,
Yine
and the
böyle.
good smell went into an old
Hala da
pipe.
depo kaldı. Bu nedir? Koy. Çıktım şu eve. Mümtazın içinden çıktım eve
I got closer and closer.
Aha, gələm uşağın yanına. Öz evimə gəldi. Bu mənim göyündür. Uşaq yox deyib, mənim göyündür. Özüm belə olmuşam da. Hara getməliyim görəm. Mən niyə belə olmuşam? Heç nə yox.
All my stomach started growling.
Hara getməliyim? Aha.
And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a
Ha,
long
özüm oldum.
time, but I couldn't hear anything.
Ooo!
For me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be
Şibala yazıb da.
delicious.
Aç qadam qapını.
Axır ki geldi, axır ki geldi.
Ha, bizim səsimiz gəlir, Hüseyin. Ha, iş səsimiz gəlirmiş. Ha, bu nə idi indi?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that,
Oy, biz
but
idik,
I'm
bax,
sure
bir şey
Edie would
yiyorduk.
have.
Ha, indi nə edirik? Oxudum.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Всё. Yekəldi mi şey? Aha.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten,
Aç görək.
she was the one who named it
Bayaqdan
Molly.
yadımıza salırdıq. Bax, bayaq çox da.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
İndi yekə eşik olmuş.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
Necə burada nələr var?
Her room was like a museum.
Şik.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse. His wife, Ingeborg. On January 7th, 1937, he set 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington. Odin's daughter, Edie, with husband Sven, and Odin Finch is the first to be buried. His daughter, Edie, is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Bu səsi bağlayaq hələlik.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace. There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore he'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again. The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Hələ bura getmiyorsa, bura da baxaq, hə?
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Şəkil.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan, and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him. Right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Açar var bir şey içinde, ondan açmak lazımdı.
Rick?
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up. But if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Yavaş yavaş. Ha, bu yan gedirəm yerə. Gəl. buraydı Zəhra bax.
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara. There's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. Listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Surprise! The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard. But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Happy ending. Barbara da budur. Bu da ölüm. Ölüm. Всё. Hələlik bu qədər. Doğru görmədi.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Bu qədər. Bir də birazdan gəlib oynayarıq.